Wait, here we go. We live again. Get ready for another great testimonial. Let's get some invites going. Boom, boom. Alrighty. We live again. This is Wellness Preacher. Of course, you got to promote the book. If you ain't got the book already, please do. Everybody Losing Weight But Me, Why? Available on Amazon. If you're local or you would like me to mail you a copy with my autograph, please feel free to inbox me and let me know. I would definitely send you one. Shipping including, it'll be $15 if you need me to send it to you. We're waiting for our guest to log on. She's going to share with us her testimony on her journey of losing over 150 pounds. And also, if you would like to make any donations for our fundraiser that we're having May 6th, please inbox me and let me know. We can definitely pick up your donations. If you would like to make a monetary donation to the cause of us purchasing our own 15-passenger van, please check out our website at www.fight4lifenoexcuses.org. Everything's spelled out except for the number 4. That's www.fightforlifenoexcuses.org. And you can be able to make a donation that way as well. And let's see. I think our guest is ready to come on and share. Got some antennas going on here. Can you there?
Hi.
Hey, how you
Can you hear
doing?
me? Good.
Yes,
How
I
are
can.
you?
Pretty
Okay.
good. Finally got you on here, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully this is good enough connection here.
Okay, yes, man. That's better. Connection is important. So, how's your day going?
It's good. It's Friday. It's busy.
It's good. Seems like you got some calls coming in already. Can you hear me?
Yes. I didn't hear the last part of what you said.
I say, yeah, good connection is definitely important.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So I would just like to get straight into it. If you could just tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Oh, it is breaking up.
It's a bad connection. You got a better connection now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. I'll say if you could just tell the people, a little bit about yourself, who you are, and we could get right into it.
Okay. My name is Nabriana. Um, I'm located in Texas. I've lost over 150 pounds. And I'm just going to be talking a little bit today about my journey and I guess my experience so far.
Got you. What triggered you to want to lose weight?
Uh, yeah, that connection is bad. Hold on, let
I
me
said,
see if I
what,
can
what
get it better here. Okay, it should be better now.
Okay. I
Can
was
you hear
asking,
me
what
okay?
triggered you to make you want to? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Thank you. I was saying, what triggered you to want to get on the course of a healthier lifestyle?
Um, Basically thinking about all the things I wanted to pursue, I guess career wise, and getting into um, music industry somehow, and just getting out of depression mostly.
Got you. So were you in depression at the moment when you started the journey?
Yes, I was. I was like postpartum depression right after I had both of my children, and just working a job, that paid well but wasn't really fulfilling, and just feeling kind of trapped. Like I didn't have many options, and just unsatisfied mostly.
Got you. Okay. So what methods did you take, and how was the that process of going from an unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy diet, to being consistent? And was there times where you kind of fell off a little bit and got fell back into depression on that in that process?
I didn't really fall back into depression. Well, I guess along the journey, I did. I guess I wouldn't say it was a depression. It was just me trying to force myself to keep going and understand that I had purpose and everything. But the original transition, going from eating so unhealthy to trying my best to portion control and all of that, that definitely was a challenge. It was a lot of forcing myself at times just to think about better when I was doing it.
Hmm, got you. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's very important. That mind is very powerful. So you mentioned the music industry. So what is your goals to do with music?
Ultimately, I want to be a music project manager. I blog about music right now and just kind of help upcoming artists get their music out there and the word out there, DJs, bands, etc. Um, I ultimately want to own my own label someday, and right now it's baby steps, but that is definitely something that I want to do and pursue.
And you felt like losing weight that was important to that to get in that field, or just to have the energy to deal with it?
Yeah, it was a lot of the energy. I knew it was in my mind. I knew I had, everything in me to do it, and it's just that I wasn't comfortable with myself, and I had a lot of anxiety, and I just thought about what could I do to help myself reach that point, whatever it was going to take. It could have been even after losing weight that I may not have even been comfortable to do it, but it just a lot of things happened after I lost the weight where I just had a lot more confidence, and I just started believing in myself. I believe once you lose 155 pounds, you kind of feel like, what else can I do? So that was one of those things
Right.
that really went with it.
Gotcha. What was your method of losing 155 pounds?
When I first started, I was counting calories. I just downloaded MyFitnessPal and portion controlled, and I stayed within about first, I think about 1,700, 1,800 calories at first, and then as I was getting smaller, I started to decrease that amount. I worked out 4 or 5 days a week, about 30 minutes of cardio, Stairmaster, and elliptical, and then I increased it, the more weight I was losing, and I wanted to challenge myself, boost up to 45 minutes to an hour, and then incorporated some weightlifting in there.
Wow. Okay. So it's all pretty much natural. No surgeries. No Herbalife, anything like that.
No,
No
no
coffee
Herbalife or
pills.
anything. Now I'd started using different things like meal bars and replacement shakes and things like that called Body Key. I don't know if you heard of that, but I use a lot of that in excess. But in the beginning, no, it was just straight portion control and counting calories.
Yeah. And at this time, do you eat meat, or are you vegan, vegetarian, or?
I eat meat. Sometimes I'll go a month not eating meat. I don't know why. I went my like in 2012 or 11. I went a whole year not eating meat. and it helped me lose 80 pounds, but I gained it back after I had my baby. Excuse me. But sometimes I go like a month not eating meat just to see if I can and see if there was any difference in my weight loss. And I would lose a little more, but I really wanted the protein from it, so I still eat meat. I ate meat today.
Got you, got you. Have you um had relatives or friends like kind of distance themselves from you with this new lifestyle, or what's changed in your social life in regards to your day ones, as they call it, people that you knew when you were much larger compared to your current size?
In the beginning, it was a very lonely actually. It was a solo journey because it was a lot of people. I used to think that I needed people with me to do it. Stopping, so I had to put it in my mind that if you're committed, then you're gonna have to learn to do it by yourself. A lot of people that they want to do the typical things that would make me gain the weight, like going to brunch, and every time you go out with your friends, you just tend to eat, and instead of incorporating some exercise or something in there. And a lot of my friends didn't want to do that, so I ride bike by myself, I go hike by myself. I did a lot of things by myself, and I guess I couldn't say I really lost friends. It was like a huge separation, and they hadn't seen me for months. A lot of my family, they understood where I was going with it, but not everybody understands your goal and what you're headed towards. But it was lonely in the beginning, and then other people wanted to join after a while. They see the progress, and they want better too. So I've gained a lot of friends along the way, doing my weight loss challenges, and becoming a wellness ambassador at work and everything. So it's benefited, and then along the way I did have to separate myself.
Got you, got you. And are you currently doing a job that you enjoy now?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, are you currently doing a job that you enjoy now than from when
I
you first
enjoy
started
it.
losing weight?
The job.
Yeah, yeah. Do you enjoy this one more than the other job, or is it still the same job?
It's a different job. The job I was in before, I was working there about 10 years, and I was an operations manager, food and beverage in the airport. It was really time consuming and overwhelming, and it did cause me to almost reach 400 pounds working there and trying to balance that. So what I chose to do in 2015 was I saved up a bunch of money, probably about $10,000, $12,000, and I said I just wanted to my dedicate that time off that I took off for work. I quit the job, and I wanted to dedicate it to getting healthy. So I took about 90 days. I figured that much would take a little bit for me to get used to that and
Mm.
get equipped with a healthy lifestyle. And after that, I figured I'd go look for another job that wasn't the same, something that I wouldn't have to be on my feet, and I wasn't as tired once I got home, because I was drained. I was working 4 a.m. in the morning till sometimes 4 p.m., and I didn't have the energy with my kids or anything like that. So I do work a different job now. Um, it's fine. It's temporary right now. I'm working on other ways to build assets, but it works for me. I like the people. I like the culture, and like I said, I'm an auction coordinator, but I'm also a wellness ambassador here, so I kind of get to set the tone as far as health wise here.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I do definitely know that your job plays a big part in your ability to remain healthy or health conscious, like you mentioned from your previous job. You getting off late and you're so drained, and it's so much of a taking job. It definitely hinders us from being productive after we leave that facility or that shift. So yeah, I definitely suggest and recommend that people strive to stay in a field that they enjoy and that's rewarding more than it takes away.
Yeah,
So
I
I was.
agree because I felt trapped in it, and it was what I was used to for so long, like 10 years in it. That's all I really knew. I started working there when I was 16 and just kind of moved up in the company. So thinking about going somewhere else and doing different work kind of made me nervous. But you really just have to be willing, figure out, your why behind why you're doing it. There's always going to be bigger opportunity if you're going for what you really want.
Gotcha. So, what about when growing up? Were you a big girl growing up, or were you athletic, or what was your fitness size growing up?
Absolutely not athletic at all. I was the laziest person. I don't even think. Yeah, my mom would try to put me in sports and probably just make me lose the weight. I tried to play basketball, but I literally just held the ball walking down the court. But I never did that. I was always overweight. I think for as long as I can remember. I mean, even at 4 or 5 years old, I was always just a bigger girl.
Okay, got you. So it wasn't until you became an adult, had your own children, your own household, you could buy your own food, is when that trigger kicked in where you said, "I want to get this weight up off me."
Yeah, I mean, you never, even in the house, we never, my mom would, I guess, put fruit there, but like I never even had an avocado until I was like 20. I just never, never
Wow,
had those things
wow.
before. It was the basic things, the things that, didn't, cost too much and, help get the family by. So you get older and you just start experiencing more and wanting better.
Got you. Wow. Okay. And you grew up in Texas. Texas is a big state where there's a lot. They're known for like big plates and big steaks and ribs and things like
Yeah.
that. So that's where you grew up.
Yeah, it's terrible actually. I mean, it's good, but when you have control. But yeah, you come here. I'm actually from Kansas, and
Okay.
even it was no better because it's like not much to do there, and so everybody really just sat around and ate anyway. So either way, Kansas or here, I was doomed.
Got you. Do you find yourself overly let's say I'm gonna say do you find yourself overly judgmental of people that's still overweight and has not become conscious yet? I think we losing you. You there? Think we lost her, you guys. It was just getting started. Oh man, I think we lost her.
Okay,
You there?
I'm sorry, we got disconnected. Can you hear me now?
I can see you moving again. I can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't hear you for a second. Did you hear my last question?
No.
Okay, yeah, I was asking you was do you find yourself judgmental of the people that have not that's overweight that have not become as conscious to their health as you have?
Not at all. I mean, I'm more understanding because I've experienced it all, and that's why I run weight loss challenges because everyone they have the reason behind why they've gained weight, and I can relate to all of them. So I just kind of take it, and I can see the pain and the hurt behind it, and you just tend to want to help people because you needed the help before, and that's kind of what inspired me to share my journey, just starting through Instagram. There were people who inspired me while I was there, and or in the beginning stages, and I just decided I might as well pay it forward because those were always the people I go back to when I was feeling discouraged, or I always feel like I was being judged, so I never feel that way about people.
Got you, got you. Do you feel like your attitude changed a lot? I mean, you lost a substantial amount of weight. Do you feel like you a little bit more snotty and rolling your head a little bit when you walk in the room?
I know I do have a lot more confidence. I've always had confidence. It was just a different kind, just being self-aware. But it is a confidence where obviously you look better, you're gonna feel better.
Right.
That's definitely where I fall right now. I don't know about snotty or having the attitude. I guess you could ask the people in the video if I have a snotty ass attitude.
Got you, man. So what would you? So you say you were always overweight growing up. So
Yeah,
did you deal with any bullies?
bullies? No, I
Yeah,
was a bully actually. Nope.
you were a bully.
No
Okay.
bullies. I mean, people who would say things, but it didn't. I don't know. I can't say it didn't affect me. It did affect me, but no one really bullied me because I kind of just stood up for myself still. So people said things. People were pretty rude. I get, I even like working in the airport as an adult. It's. I'd hear people, call me like precious and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I just never. I always just, I guess, face them. and so I never really considered them a bully, but yeah, there's a couple assholes along the way.
Right, keep it real. Got you. Yes, ma'am. Okay, man, I love it. Wow. So with you being the bully, are you so now you're not the bully no more?
I used to be. I mean, I just because you kind of had to like the school I went to, everybody just was angry. Like when I came to Texas, I was just confused on why everybody was so angry and wanted to fight all the time. So it kind of just built that up in me too, and you acted like the people that you were around. So I kind of became that person on accident. And when I surrounded myself by different people, then I kind of got out of that, and that's kind of how it works. Some people would consider me a bully just because I have like the resting bee face. So when they see me, then they start talking to me and
Got
they
you.
realize I'm not, that way. You get what I'm saying? Sorry.
Got you. Yes, ma'am. I definitely understand that. I do. So with that, also what makes me come to my mind is so like during this process, right? Like you come from what was your starting with at 360? What was it? Like 300 and what?
Repeat that
Can
again.
you hear? I said, what was your starting weight?
365 pounds.
365 pounds. Have you reached your goal yet?
I keep changing it. I keep leveling up. My original goal was 240, and then when I got there, I just started changing it. So I've officially made my goal 199 pounds, just to say I'm under 200 pounds.
Got you, got you. Okay, hey, that's great. You gotta have goals, gotta have vision, right?
Yeah.
So, so in this process, I want to know, like, where, like, had there ever been a moment where you feel like I just want to give up? I'm finna go to McDonald's and give me like a number five or whatever, and just pig out. Like, have you ever had those moments like while you were still in the 300 marks? Like, what triumphs did you really have to get over? Like, what was your struggles during this process? Because you make it seem like you just started and just kept going and never had a bump in the road. That's how you sound right now.
Really? No. I mean, what I did was I found substitutes. I found substitutes. If I wanted to go to McDonald's, I knew what my triggers were, so I automatically would be on Pinterest like, okay, you know what you really like from there. So how about you go ahead and get something else that you found, Pinterest has everything, McDonald's healthy or whatever, it's gonna be. And that's if I really was craving something, I deprive myself of it. I would just eat. Um, where you do that, if I did just eat it, the next time I had it, or I waited that long, I would just eat it 2 weeks straight or something. That's what I had. I mean, that's what I realized early on in my probably my third.
You breaking up again. Oh man, can you guys hear her? Anybody watching? Can you hear her? Can you hear me? And if you have any questions as well, please type in your questions if you're watching live at this time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions. But if you guys can let me know, can you hear her? I currently. Okay, I think we lost her. Let's see if we could get her back. Okay. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Brother Bilal. I think she left. See if we can get her back. Finish out the interview. Has a few more questions. Hopefully she comes back on, man. That was a really good. Oh no. Let's see if we can get her back. Thank you guys for tuning in to Fight for Life's live testimonials. It's an honor. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them, and I will definitely ask her these questions, or if she sees them, she can ask them. But she has lost 155 pounds and says she still has a few more pounds to go, and it's been a great journey. There you go. better area?
I'm walking away. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you now. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot,
Yeah, I'm
a little
walking like
better.
away from something. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, one of my questions I really want to ask you. So you mentioned you sound like you have two children, but with your children, how do you implement a healthy lifestyle to them?
Yeah, I have two. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I mean, they only know healthy, really. Like they like to work out too. I incorporate them in my workouts, on the weekends and stuff. Instead of any other thing we could be doing, we'll go to the park and I'll push them in the double stroller, walk my 5 miles there. We'll go swimming. When they get a little older, we definitely want to take them skating and things like that. Um, they they eat healthy meals. They never had soda before. They just drink milk and water and like a snippet of juice. They never even tasted a full cup of juice before. They might go into shock.
Wow, okay, that's great. That's great. That's one thing that our organization emphasizes on is getting rid of childhood obesity. So we definitely appreciate you for helping us with that. But also, I wanted to know, so like one thing that I like when I started promoting this live feed, somebody in the comments said liposuction or something, and all you did was you just liked it and said thank you. You didn't argue. You didn't have nothing to say to these people, and I was like, wow, that's very humbling and because you have some people that they feed into that, they're like, oh well, especially if they didn't do that, if you didn't get liposuction or you didn't do, whatever the situation may be, the people get offended by certain things. So how do you deal with that when people look at you and they say that, like, because online you dealt with it in my eyes very very great, and I'm pretty sure you probably get it in your Instagram comments and things like that, but how do you deal with that from day to day?
I don't know. I mean, I just know I didn't, so I don't really pay any attention to it. And I don't know if somebody says that to me, they obviously think I took some extreme measures in what I did because they think I look great. So I just think, okay, thank you. I didn't. Wish I could do that. Wish I could afford that, but you could do this too. I don't ever take it as anything negative. I just think I thought you looked so great. That's what you got.
Gotcha. Wow, that's amazing. That's it. I Moon says that you're humbling, and let me see. I'm gonna go back to the comment. It says she's humble and sweet spirited, and I definitely have to agree with that. Just from my watching you on social media, even this interview here, it definitely bears witness to you being humble. And I'm telling you, when I seen some of those comments, I was like, wow. Some people rather than ask a question, they just assume like, oh, she did this or he did that, rather than just, even inbox you privately and say, hey, what did you
Yeah.
actually do
I,
to lose the weight? Go
what
ahead.
did I do to lose it?
No, I'm saying instead of somebody
You said,
asking
what
you,
did I do to lose the weight?
no, no, I'm saying like instead of people just
Oh,
asking you, they just jump to assumptions and just say, whatever they feel.
yeah. People are interesting. They're interesting. That's all I can say. I mean, there'll be some I post, and I think I had put, from my transition, it was 6 pictures from 365 to 211, and this guy was like, "You look better at 365," and I was like, "Trust me, I wasn't better though. I wasn't in a good current state. And then after that, he just sent me a message and we just started talking. And then he started talking about his own weight problems. I was just like, so he was really more upset with himself, And I was like, it's just people are just interesting, man. And I just never get offended by it because I can tell there's probably a little hurt behind that more than hate.
Got you. Have you found what was the root cause of you been getting to that size? Have you discovered that much about yourself?
Oh yeah. I was diagnosed with like an eye disease. It was basically legally blinded me, and I couldn't read. I couldn't I couldn't drive myself around anymore. I couldn't see myself in the mirror for a few years before I had both of my transplants. And being that dependent on people, and feeling like you're just overwhelming others, and you're like, just like barrier, and it's like, it kind of just created this in me to where I got depressed and I felt like I just would never be independent. So, I didn't want to be around people, and in addition to that, I lost part of my hearing when I got sick in high school, and it just only came back in one ear. So it was so many things that made me think that I wasn't, just really wasn't fit to be around so many people, that I didn't really fit in too well. And I just got depressed. I just stayed home and I ate and was in the comfort of my own home. And it started there. And then even before that, just childhood stuff I went through, it was a lot of stuff actually. So that was the major one. It just, that eye disease, trying to get past that and get to a point where I can see again.
Wow. So did you just say that you had to have your eyes replaced, like eye transplants?
Yeah, like I had two cornea transplants, one in 2011, and then I had one wait, was that last year? Yeah, that went by fast. Yeah, that was last year.
Wow. Congratulations on that. Wow. That's even more.
Thank you.
Wow. So you were technically, like you say, you were blind for a moment.
Yeah, basically, I was legally blind. They won't label that here in Texas, in America, but if I go to the UK, they will pay me to sit at home because I have this eye disease. But out here, it doesn't count, so I still have to be superwoman and act like it doesn't affect me. But yeah, that's basically what
Wow.
happened, and it was like 2400 vision. Basically, it's legally blind.
So so in this blind state of mind, this is just amazing. Wow. So in your blind state condition, like you say, you had to have people take you around, so you wasn't able to drive in, right? Or
No, I would attempt and then I'd come right back home because I hit a pole or I went down a one way. So I stopped doing that very
wow.
quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's very important. That was a very smart decision to make. Wow. Okay. So how?
Yeah, I had to learn like
Wow.
you can't do that. Yeah.
And how
My
long was your
sister
time
took
frame?
good care of me, If I couldn't see anything, if I couldn't read something, there she was. If I didn't see something was crawling on me, she would be the one to swat it. She'd read the captions on the TV for me. So she was the one helping me along the way and helping me through that depression. So I definitely appreciate her for that.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. That's just that's that's what Fight for Life is all about. Fight for Life, no excuses. We love to hear those and encourage people to just no matter what you're doing, like the brother mentioned, perseverance, tenacity to be able to just continue going on and never giving up and understanding
Yeah.
that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, or if it isn't a light at the end of the tunnel, you might just have to dig up, make a light, make a hole, you gotta make a way.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
people
mean,
talk about the
it changes your mindset, and I think that's where the humbleness comes from, or when someone simply says they can't do something, because you're like, when you're in a position where you really can't, where I'm sitting about thinking about, man, I wish I could ride that bike, man, I wish I could drive that car, man, I wish I could do whatever normal people are doing. And then when I finally get to do it, I'm like, man, let's go, let's get it, like I've been waiting. So it's like when somebody
right.
says they can, I'm like,
Wow.
why not? Like, you have everything. We have our sight, we have our vision, we have our
Oh,
hearing,
thank you.
so it's like you become humble and you realize, I got past this took a long time, this is something that I didn't think I would get past, this is something that almost broke me. So now I'm like, weight loss, okay, let's go.
Right, right, yeah, definitely. So so what's the time frame of you being blind, and what's the time frame of you going deaf? You say you went deaf for a moment, and you only got half your hearing back. Looks like in your right ear.
Yes, I got it back in my left. My right is pretty much gone. But I was 18 when that happened. I was still in high school because I remember my teachers were sending me all my work through email for a few months until it came back. And then like I said, it only came back in one. And then that was only for a short period of time. But since I was 18, I haven't been able to hear out of my right ear. And then I lost my sight officially in my right eye in 2009, excuse me, when I was 19. And then I was without that for about 2-3 years. That was the hardest part right there. So it was about 2-3 years where it was pretty bad in my left and then completely gone in my right. So that's when it was the worst. And then after I got the surgery, even still, it takes a while for you to see 2020 again. It was still just, you would think you just bounce right back, but it took about 4 years to get it back to that point. And then once I had that, then I had to get the left one done because that one just went completely away. So now, during that time, I was supposed to get my left eye surgery done April Fool's Day of 2014. And that's the day that I found out I was 6 months pregnant. I came
Wow.
into there, and she was gonna do the surgery, and all the nurses are running around like crazy, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know, we don't know." I'm like, "Oh my God, they're so unprofessional. What's going on?" And then they come back and like, "We can't do this surgery on you. You're pregnant. If we do the surgery, it's gonna harm the baby." And I'm just like, "Baby," And then I go to the emergency room, and I found out I'm 6 months along. So the rush of, that preparing for my daughter to come, and just yeah, she came 2 months later after I found out she was uh, even happening, and then so all of that was just a rush for me. And I was just like, you know what? It broke me. I was just like, I was happy because she was healthy, but it was like, man, I don't know what else could have happened for me to just keep going at that point. But I made it. It's those things have molded me. They have made me stronger, and I think that's why I continue the way I do right now with the weight loss.
Wow, that's amazing. So I wanted to ask you now with that. So once you got your sight back, right? Once you got the surgeries, your eyes you can start seeing now. What was the time frame for you to say, you know what? Let me improve this person that I see in the mirror. What was? Do you know that time frame?
Yeah, I do. It was let's see. It was very quickly, actually. I mean, probably, within right after I was off restriction, I was ready, because, like, or kind of once I really could see myself again, because you get the surgery and you still can't see very well, and they're like, okay, you got it, but you're gonna need still gonna need glasses. So once I get the glasses and I really am able to take a look at myself and say, wow, I mean, I knew I was overweight, but like I can see everything now.
Mm.
And that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate it once I'm off restriction, once I can lift more, once all of that. That probably took just a few months, actually.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. 6 months pregnant, going in for surgery, postpone it, and it's just, I mean, your story just gets more interesting each statement that you make. I don't know whether to end the interview or go deeper.
Please, please don't go deeper. I might cry. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. So what encouraging? Well, I seen some comments on one of the posts. Someone asked a question. I tagged you, and I don't know if you've seen it earlier. They asked you a question. I can't remember quite what it was. It was something along the lines. It's pretty much just like, what words of encouragement would you give to somebody that's at 365 pounds today, and they're waking up today and they're looking at the person in the mirror and they say, you know what, we got to do better. What would you tell that person right now?
I would tell that person to really sit and think about their why behind everything that they do. Whether it's their kids, they want just a better life with their in their relationship, their career. They really think about their why, and think about the people that can't do what they can do, and put that behind their why. And I promise everything's gonna come to them after that. It's gonna get easier. Actually, it's not gonna get easier, but you're gonna get stronger, and you're gonna constantly remember that as you're going along your journey, and everything that you're experiencing right now, it's gonna help you grow. It's gonna help you get through it. That's as good as it gets right now.
Gotcha. That's great. So how often do you work out now?
Right now I work out about 4 days a week. I do about 30 minutes cardio, and then I do some core work, and some weightlifting. So about an hour, 4 days a week.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Not too much to
Yeah.
ask for, right? So let me ask you
Just
this question as well. What is the how long did it take you to understand the nutrition side of losing weight? Like, were you just exercise, like, what was like the learning process of the connection between nutrition, because you mentioned calories earlier, but between either the proper eating the proper foods, excuse me, eating the proper foods and exercise, how long did it take you to connect those two, or did you do your homework first and just, how did you get that part?
It took me, I'll say it took me a few months, or even along the journey, because I would, in the beginning, you put in the work at the gym, and then come home and you're like, look at all this food. And then you'll just, go in and you just defeated the purpose of your workout. And when I see that scale, I was facing the scale. Like I would, some people, they don't try to avoid it. But to me, I'm like, I got to see what I'm doing here, how much damage or how good I'm doing. So when I see that it's not working, and then I'm like, okay, because I'm working out and eating terribly, I would compare that to the dedicated month that I had of actually eating right 80% and working out 20%, and then I seen the difference, and I'm like, okay, I could have been doing this all along. And when I actually, it was, it seems simple, but when you actually just sit back and think, okay, just try something different, try it, just do a different way. You already know what doesn't work. Try something that does work, and then it's just clear to you at that point.
Right, got you. That's great. That's great. It definitely goes hand in hand. But before we wrap up, I just want to see if anybody that's on have any questions. I don't know if you have any questions on your screen. I don't have any on mine at this time from anybody. Um,
I
if
think
anybody that's
so.
still watching,
See
just don't
some
want to miss
comments.
nobody.
Tatiana says she remembers the baby, the surprise baby. I don't see any questions though.
Yeah, me neither. Man, well, I definitely appreciate you. Definitely. So we're gonna have to talk offline about this music stuff. Might have something we can work on with that. So I can
Okay.
see what your skills is, see what we can do. Probably got an artist for you down to bring to Texas.
Okay.
So
Cool.
definitely appreciate you. So I will talk to you soon about the music side. And if you have any closing out remarks that you want to share with the people, please do.
I would say remember why you started, and the mind or the body can do anything, and then it's the mind that we have to convince. I will leave off with that.
Gotcha. And when your in all your social media contacts.
Oh yeah. So Music for the Soul Only is Instagram. Snapchat, I forgot. Sorry. Facebook, Nabi Light, and that's all I got actually. Music for the Soul Only and Nabi Light. Oh yeah, and you can get on my blog too, which is musicforthesoulonly.com. That's music, wellness, and lifestyle.
Mm, lovely. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you again. I will definitely be in touch with you soon. Please have a great day and continue along your journey.
Thank you.
And that was a great interview. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, this is the Wellness Preacher. Please be sure to like our Facebook page. That's Fight for Life. No excuses. We have the heart with the strong arms. Also, again, if you are interested in making any monetary donations for our organization, you can go to www. I don't know if I said four W's, but www.fight the number four life no excuses.org. Just a little bit about who we are. If you're unfamiliar, we are in the process of becoming a nonprofit organization. We work with youth. Um, they don't have to be at-risk youth. We deal with youth. In particular, we deal with young black boys in the community, and we empower them with manhood training. We are uncles to them. We are positive role models to them. We take them out, teach them different things about being a man, from proper handling of the female, how to care about themselves, hygiene, basic automobile maintenance, home repair. At this time, we are fundraising to purchase our very own 15 passenger van. We've been around for 3 years now, and we just really intend on growing. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, and we desire to get into different states. However, we got to get our foundation solid and make sure that we can continue to serve our community. So before we can go abroad. So once again, if you would like to help out with that, if you are here local, we are having a yard sale May 6th, and we are collecting donations, items, clothes, shoes, bikes, whatever items that we can resell to raise money to purchase our very own 15 passenger van. For the last 3 years, this program has been funded for myself and my partner, Brother Bilal. We come out of our pocket and we take care of these young men to the best of our ability. We've taken them on various trips, and right now we're striving to get to the next level. And every time we are able to assess ourselves and our organization, we just do our best to improve it. So right now we realize by us purchasing our own van, it will help us a lot to transport the boys in larger groups to do different things. Sometimes if Brother Bilal is available, he'll pick up how many he can in his vehicle and he will take them out on the outing, even if it's just to the park for the day to play basketball or to the movies, things like that. But if we had our own 15 passenger van, we'd take 15 of the boys. And so far in the 3 years that we've been running, we've been able to average 23 boys. So we have a 15 passenger van and plus one of our own personal cars that would allow us to take a large group to go to the movies or to go to a theme park or the zoo or a museum, things like that. So that's our number one goal for this year is to get our own van so we can do larger things, to take larger groups of the boys together to continue the bond. We have a 12-week program. However, although our 12-week is just 12 weeks, our communication and involvement in these young men's lives is 24/7, 365. Once that 12 weeks is over with, we continue to bond. We continue to have different events with these young men to let them know that we are in their lives from the moment they enroll until the moment they go into the grave, because it takes a village to rear a child. 12 weeks is not enough to impact these youngsters and be a positive. They have a lot of negative influences in their environment. So we want to be a solid foundation for them, or to just be that extra assistance that they may need. So again, to find out more, you can go to our website, www.fightforlifenoexcuses.org. We also have a donate button on there. Again, promoting my book, Everybody's Losing Weight But Me. You can get it on Amazon or you can inbox me and I will ship you a signed copy. Just let me know. I can send you our PayPal link and that will help us as well. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, this is Fight for Life, No Excuses, live testimonials. Remember, eat well, think well, take care of your life.